you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So when you think about the things in your life that have been a little rough on you, and people have been a little rough, and we say, well, you know, that dirty rascal. Well, I'm telling you, I know people have said things that they didn't want to say.
Yeah.
And they've been mean to you when they didn't want to be mean to you and didn't know why they were being mean to you.
Yeah.
But it brought you to the point you're at now. You know, and this is why I've dealt with people that have had ex-wives that were mean.
Yeah.
Okay? Mean ex-wives. And now they're in great relationships. And I said, how can you be mad at that ex-wife when she brought you to, when you're at the point you're at now because of her?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the times, you know, that, I mean, I got one buddy had the meanest little wife you ever seen. I mean, she has beat the fire out of him. I mean, she would jump up a straddle of his neck.
Goodness gracious.
And put him in a headlock. He's a great big guy. She's a little old round girl. But she'd jump up and just beat the fire out of him and rough on him, mean to him. But he's in a great marriage now. But he would have tolerated her if she'd have been a little nicer to him. And there he would have been, not where he needs to be now.
Right.
And that's a hard thing to think about in our life, because there's people that didn't want to be mean to you.
Right. Well, I think you need to always be growing. No matter how old you get.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You should always be growing. Something. You need to do something every day to
move forward.
To advance yourself. Read something, do something. I mean, you know. People sometimes are so idle nowadays. You know, I call them the walking zombies.
It's easy to be.
They just got that phone in their face.
It's easy to be.
I've seen people walking down the sidewalk, phone in their face. You go through the store, they'll bump into you and not even know where they're going because they got that phone in their face, and it just, you know, you don't grow that way.
Yeah, we got people. I like people. I think we should talk to people.
Yeah, I mean, when I started out there at the metal shop, I had I've been out there for over 6 years, going on 7. I had no experience. I didn't know nothing about nothing. Honestly, the first day I was scared to death. All that machinery running and stuff, and he was showing me, you know, grinding tables and the mill and the lathe and all that. And he said, one day you'll be able to run this. I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to run this. You know, I thought I was coming here to weld, because that's what I did. You know, after I got the car business, I said, I'm gonna take welding. That's something I'm always interested in. I went to school, got my welding certificate and everything, and I thought that's what I was gonna do. But we don't do much welding at all there. We run machinery and stuff. So, you know, I remember, you know, when I first started on those machines, I said, there is no, you know, you got this control panel and all these buttons. And
it's complicated.
I was like, there is no way I can run this thing. And I remember when I first started, especially on the grinding table, sometimes I'd forget to turn the coolant on. That's not a good thing. When that wheel goes across your middle and you ain't got no coolant on it. You know what I'm saying? It makes a terrible noise. Not to mention burns you apart. But, you know, just little stuff like that, or, you know, you have to certain speed that you come across it with. There's some metals are different. You got different metals, different, you know, S7, A2, D2, whatever. Depending on the metal, the hardness of it, you have to set your certain speed, how fast you want it to come across, how fast you want your table to go back and forth, how much you want the wheel to drop each time, you know.
But you got it all figured out now.
Yeah, but it, you know, well, what I'm saying is I had to grow every day. You know, every day I ran that thing, I learned a little something different.